to my channel. In today's video I'm going to do an in-depth talk through tutorial on how I achieve a flawless base. So let's jump right into this video. So the first thing I'm going to start off with is actually priming my skin. I've recently bought this SMASHBOX primer water, just a sample size to see how much I like it, just to spray all over my skin before I go in with my other primer. So I let that dry into your skin. It smells so nice. I don't know what's in it, but it smells really nice. The next thing I go in with is the SMASHBOX Photo Finish Primer Oil. I go in with a few drops of this onto my skin, which is absolutely amazing. Just in the palm of my hand, just first I press it into my skin and then rub it everywhere. There we go. My skin just looks so nourishing and hydrated after I put that primer oil on. Next thing I do go in with is actually concealers. I go in with my Fenty concealers. I go in with 420, which is my perfect shade, just to get rid of all the discoloration on my face. I like to use a concealer that is closest to my shade to hide all my discoloration. I don't really like the orange concealer because sometimes it don't blend out very well, and you can also see that on the foundation. Instant Retouch concealer. I'm just gonna say Fenty Beauty concealer because that's a lot. So I'm just going in and just put that underneath my eyes. Now I'm gonna take a damp beauty blender to blend this all out, as you can see. If you're not a foundation person, you could literally go out like this, just apply powder all over your face, that's your color, and you could go about your business for the day and you look flawless. But me, I love foundation and I love high coverage foundation. All Day Luminous Weightless foundation, and also my Fenty Beauty foundation, and I mix these two together. I just find that it gives my skin such a glow and a beautiful soft touch finish. It's not matte, it's not too matte, but you still like have this nice glow about your skin. So I just take a few pumps of both and just mix it together on the back of my hand, because you want to warm up those products as well. And this is what it will look like. And I'm just gonna go in, so pat that all over my face with my fingers. I like to do one side at a time. So I'm going back in with that same beauty blender and just start blending. If you have like an event, a girls' night out or night on the town, this is great because it won't budge. When I mean it will stay all day, all night. That's what I love about my foundation. Don't forget your jawline and down your neck a little bit. You just want everything to just look seamless. And if you want more coverage, what you could do, instead of a sponge, use a brush, which with a brush you will get more fuller coverage. But if you don't want such a, not cakey, but fuller coverage look, then just use a sponge, which I like coverage, but I don't like full coverage. Sometimes that can clog your pores, but I still want my skin to kind of breathe through all this foundation and everything that I'm going to put on. So I'm just going and making sure that everything is just seamlessly blended out. So it does take me a while because I do this step for about 2 to 3 minutes, just to make sure that everything is seamlessly blended. I know that sounds a lot of time, but believe me, in the end your foundation and everything will look flawless. Alright, I am happy with how that is blended. As you can see, look, my skin still looks glowy and beautiful. But if you have oily skin, combination skin, then you use primers according to your skin type and just use the same steps. Just miss out the primers that I use and use anything. You can use your favorite foundations or whatever. You could use what you have you could still achieve this look. You don't have to be all the products that I'm using. So what I do, as I said, I just make sure everything is well blended. Now I'm going in with my concealer. I like to mix the Fenty concealer and also the Too Faced multi-use sculpting sculpt concealers. These two concealers, I love the finish of how they look. They look beautiful. You can also use the Fenty or the Too Faced one by themselves. I just like the mixture. I think they complement each other. Now that I've popped it in all the areas that I would like to highlight, I'm just going in with just a little bit of the Too Faced concealer. It's literally the same shade, but the finish on both of them just complement each other. Now I'm going in with that same beauty blender. I'm just going to use the pointed side to start blending everything out. I'm going to leave my under eye just to sit for a little while longer. I'm just going to blend the center of my face. So I like to start with my chin and just blend. And then I go back with that same sponge and just turn it to the bottom where I had my foundation, and just make sure I just pat everything in so everything looks seamless. I'm gonna go the bridge of my nose and then straight into the top of my forehead. Now, as you can see, I have this kind of halo on my forehead. Just go back in, and whatever is left on the back of your hand from your foundation, just take that and pat it into the sponge, and then start to blend that into your skin so it don't look so halo-like and you don't have that demarcation in your face. So once you are done blending that out, see there's no more demarcation. You can't tell where the concealer lines stop or start. So I'm just gonna go in, I'm gonna flip the sponge. I got one more side that's clean. I'm gonna flip it and then blend out my under eye. With blending out your under eye, I do this just to make sure to kind of avoid all the creasing from underneath my eye from happening. So make that face, I know everybody makes that face, but it works. So make the face look like a crazy person for a little while and blend. Once you finish blending, look how seamless that looks. And then again, turn the sponge over and just get rid of any demarcation that you may have on your skin. Now, once I finish blending my face, I do like to go in with powder. I love to go in with the MERCIER translucent powder. This is an amazing powder for baking or setting your under eye. Someone like me who has dry skin, I don't like to leave the powder sitting on my face for too long. So what I do is that I go in with a brush. I'm going in with a Morphe E48 brush. Still gonna bake. I'm gonna show you guys how to bake, but I'm just gonna show you, I wanna set that into place and then bake so my skin don't look so dry or anything. So I'm just gonna go in, tapping off that excess. Look like a crazy person again. If you see any creasing, take your sponge and blend it out before you go in with that setting powder. Now set my under eye. I'm gonna go in with that sponge and dip it in to my translucent powder. But the trick is I'm going to pat my translucent powder on the back of my hand to take off some of that powder, and then I'm going to press this into my skin. This way you won't have too much product on your face and you won't look so dry and cakey. And because I'm gonna do the same for everywhere else, I put some on my powder, pat it on the back of my hand, and then apply that to my chin, up of my lip, bridge of my nose, and then my forehead. And I'm just setting that all into place. Now I would leave that for not too long. I'll give it like about, I I give it a couple of minutes to just sit on my skin, and then I go in. Then you can use whatever powder you use to set your whole face. You just go in with that. I'm going in with MERCIER Translucent Medium Deep Setting Powder, and just a big powder brush. I just dip my brush in and I take the lid, pat some of that off. But you see, I pat it off one side, and then the other side I pick some back, I swirl it around, because sometimes you can pick up too much powder. And I just go in circular motion, and this is where I dust off all of that powder that I've popped onto my skin. Circular motion, just set everything into place. Because I want to keep my under eye bright, I won't use this powder, this brush, to kind of knock off that powder. Now I'm just gonna do my forehead, and your under eye is still bright and beautiful. I go back in with that Morphe E48 brush. Now I just sweep to get rid of that excess powder. And once you're done, this is what it should look like. I go in with either my Fix Plus or that Morphe Continuous Spray. I will use both, to be honest. I use one and then I'll probably use the other one later on in this tutorial. So I'm just gonna go in with the Fix Plus for now and just squirt that all over my face to melt all that powder into my skin. I do a lot of that Fix Plus to make sure that all my skin is kind of drenched, so that all that powder will sink in. As you can see, it's still drying, so you just leave that to dry. But look how flawless my foundation looks. Everything is just seamlessly blended, and there's no demarcation from concealer or anything. If you want from here, you could go on to cream contouring, which sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. I prefer powder, to be honest, because that's easy. If you don't wait till the Fix Plus or whatever spray you spritz on your face is fully dry, this is where you can cause yourself to have blotchy patches and also for the foundation to look muddy. So wait until it dries into your skin before you move on to the next step. Now, I'm just gonna take a MAC 135 brush. I'm going in with the BOBBI Brown, the bronzing powder from BOBBI Brown in shade 3. They've got lighter ones which looks amazing, and they've got also darker ones. I just go in with this brush, and I don't really contour, I really bronze up my skin to bring the color back to my face, because right now I look a little flat because everything just looks, except for the center, everything else just looks flat. So you just want to add back that color to your skin that you've taken away. So I'm just going in, loading up my brush, and I'm just gonna suck my cheeks in, go backwards, not forward. Give yourself, like, you see that? It's a light contour. If you want a more like sharper contour, you use a different brush. You use a more denser brush, and that will give you that sharp contour, and then you could just diffuse it by blending it out. Then I take that up to my hairline. I kind of go in an E, so from there, and then a bit on my jawline. See? Just like that, easy and simple. If you want your contour to be a little bit more sharp and popping, what you will do is take your sponge, take a little bit of translucent powder, and just go underneath your contour, right there. Just clean up that area, and you see, you get that sharp line. If you would like, you don't have to do this step. It's like optional. So this is how it will look once you've done that and press that into the skin. I'm going in with my Anastasia Glow Kit in Sun Dip. I'm going in with bronze first, and I'm using a Morphe 49 brush, which is just like a flat kind of brush, and I'm picking that up. Just applying that to the top of my cheekbone to give me that glow I'm looking for. Look how beautiful that is. And then I do that to the next side. As you can see, I'm patting it on my skin because you don't want to swipe, because then you get that unblended kind of highlight on your skin, and that's hard to, it's not hard to reverse. All you have to do is take your damp beauty sponge and just then blend that out like that, and look how beautiful that looks. Just gonna apply that to the tip of my nose, the top of my brow bone, where the light will naturally hit, just down here on my lip, and then a little bit on my chin. If you want, you could go on top, if you want it more beaming, you could go on top with Summer. So flip the brush over, and then just lightly, do you see that? Ooh, I'm a glowing goddess. I'm just gonna take a my blush brush and just blend that out a little bit. There we go. And now I will go in with my blush. It's like a Chanel blush, and it's just like a pinky, bronzy kind of color. Sorry, the name at the back is rubbed off, but I'm gonna try to find it online and link it and put it in the description box. Just go in and I just put a little bit on my cheeks, not too much. As you can see, not too overpowering. This is how I do my foundation. So glowy, so beautiful. But I'm gonna go in with the Morphe Continuous Setting Mist and spritz that all over my face again, and that will just lock and seal everything into place. If you have dry skin, oily skin, any skin, you could also use the Urban Decay All Nighter De-Slick. Any of those will work perfectly fine to lock everything into place, and it won't budge. Even I'm telling you, won't sweat this makeup off. You will not. Okay, and I'm just gonna go. So I'm just gonna wait till that dries. Okay, so now that's finished, dried onto my skin, you can see how glowy and gorgeous my skin looks. And I'm telling you, this will last you all day, all night. If you're going to work, easy on the highlight. But if you're going out with like your husband, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, whoever, fiance, anyone that you're going out with, and you wear this, believe me, even if you cry, it's not budging. I hope that you guys enjoy this in-depth tutorial of me talking through my foundation routine and how I achieve such a flawless base. With a flawless base, you can do anything. And remember, it's not about your base, it's also about your skincare. So make sure you're taking care of your skin prior to makeup, because if your skin looks horrible, the makeup will look horrible. So I hope that you guys enjoy this makeup tutorial. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, give me a thumbs up, and leave me a comment in the comment section. I love to get to know you guys, so I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.